What is dilution of concentrated acid or base? So you can see the figure. Test tube having concentrated acid, a trough having water, and it is a glass rod for stirring. And this is the right method for the dilution of acid. But here test tube having water and the trough having concentrated acid and glass rod for stirring. But this is not right method of dilution of concentrated acid or base. So from this we can understand concentrated acid must be added to water in a drop wise with a continuous stirring of the solution with a glass rod. Means that acid is added to water in a drop wise by stirring with this glass rod like this. But here water must not be added to concentrated acid while stirring with a rod. So for dilution of acid, this is right. This is wrong. So for dilution of concentrated acid or base, so concentrated acid or base is added to water with continuous stirring using glass rod. So water is not added to concentrated acid or base for dilution. So if water is added to concentrated acid or base for dilution, as it is an exothermic reaction, more amount of heat is generated at a time. All the water can be converted into steam and the reaction may be explosive by splashing out the solution. That is why it is very dangerous for dilution of acid, this method. So this is a wrong. You can see here into mark, cross mark, and this is a right method. So now what is the definition of dilution of concentrated acid or base? So you can see here, mixing concentrated acid or base with water, which is resulting the decrease in the concentration of ions. Those ions are H3O plus ions or OH minus ions per unit volume is called dilution of acid. So when the concentrated acid is mixed with water, then its H3O plus ions per unit volume will decrease. When the concentrated base is mixed with water, then its OH minus ions concentration per unit volume will be decreased. So this process is called dilution of concentrated acid or base. So here H3O plus ions related to acid, OH minus ions related to base. So process of mixing the concentrated acid or base with water, which results in the decrease of ions per unit volume, is called dilution of acid. It means that concentrated acid or base is diluted means the percentage of acid or base is decreased, so by adding water. So it is a dilution process. So it is exothermic reaction. So for dilution concentrated acid or base must be added to water as a drop wise by stirring with glass rod. Water must not be added to the concentrated acid or base. It becomes explosive. So already we explained water must not be added to the concentrated acid or base for dilution because it is exothermic reaction and it may become explosive reaction. So process of mixing acid or base, concentrated acid or base with water in a drop wise, so by continuous stirring, is called dilution of acid. So due to dilution of acid, so the water percentage increases and the quality of the acid decreases and the number of ions, H3O plus ions and OH minus ions per unit volume will be decreased. So this is called dilution of acids, concentrated acids or bases.